Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And guys, I don't think I'm gonna have a voice for the next couple of weeks. The XRP price went completely insane today. Oh yeah, and before I forget guys, make sure you put down below in the comment section if you are bullish on XRP and if you made some profit on XRP today. Yes or no? Put it in the comment section down below. And guys, make sure you press that like button and subscribe to the channel because XRP is going crazy today. And of course, I've been streaming for hours and hours upon end, just talking about the price and talking about everything that's been happening as, well, we couldn't really go around it right now. I mean, we had to talk about it. I mean, it was completely mental. That's the only way I can put it. But yeah, so XRP basically was at about 88 cents when we first started streaming. Later on, went on a crazy spree, and I just started streaming again when it was at like 90 something cents or so. When it got to about 98, 97, it was there for about an hour. I stopped streaming, and then bada boom, bada bing, I started streaming again when the price just went on a complete surge. Right now, it's been on a little bit of a decline, but it's still above $1, which to me is still mind-boggling. So at first, I wanted to give you guys a full lawsuit update. That's actually the video I was recording when the price was just pumping up to the moon. But I now have a lot of stuff to cover, so let's see where we get through this story. I have so much stuff that I don't know how I'm going to separate it into different videos. So to start off real quick, this is actually one of the first times where I'm seeing the Korean markets with XRP measured in Korean won actually be lower than the XRP price. So XRP basically pumped up about 30% or so on Korean exchanges. It only pumped up about 10, and so it's actually below, right? And that's something I really haven't ever, I think, seen before. At least I don't think I have. And it was rather interesting to me because, once more, if you've never seen something like that and all of a sudden XRP is on the exchange where things are normally way higher, not higher, you start to think about, what's going on right there. And then one thing which I found interesting, which we all watched during the live stream, was that the liquidations for XRP were higher than of any other crypto. Like right now, over the last 12, 4, and 1 hour, the XRP liquidations are insane if you compare it to the rest of the market. Now, the 1 hour has changed, with Ethereum right now being the biggest one, and over the 24 hours, XRP has now actually been the biggest one. So this basically means the majority of people who were shorting XRP have now been taken out of their position. You can see the rate in terms of shorts was definitely highest. And what a short basically is, in easiest terms, is people who bet that the price is going to go down. That's basically what it is, if you did not understand. That was interesting to me, though. Then we were looking, of course, for an explanation as to why the price was pumping. And there's a couple of things which we thought might be an explanation of the events. One thing, easy, being the fact that there's a ton of investments from institutions that are happening behind closed doors. Two is some people expected a settlement or the Gary Gensler speech from early today to have had some effect. Three, some people said the senators and all that came to a conclusion about the bill 1 day ago, and that's right now kicking in. Some other people have speculated that a PayPal deal is doing something. I couldn't find any info on all of that. Some others are saying all the lawsuit info for Ripple/XRP, it's what's causing the price to pump. Some others were saying that an exchange in Estonia, I believe, has actually caused the price to pump, specifically for XRP. And some others are saying that there's a new announcement basically over on Twitter, which I hopefully retweeted earlier today. Let me quickly see if I did. It was by Crypto Erri and another person. I think it's in Japan. Well, here we go. So this is basically talking about this new corridor going from South Korea, I believe, to Thailand, and that's basically what they were talking about here through Ripple SBI Asia. Some people thought that was the pump, but in the end of things, guys, you most likely understand by now that nobody really knows what's going on, because all those reasons are kind of cool, kind of important, yet not that groundbreaking and not anything that would have caused XRP to normally pump up about 30% or so. So I am drawing these couple of conclusions. One, Fomo, right? That's definitely the biggest thing which I would put up right here now. I'm also seeing this right now on the side while I'm making this video. Ripple and GME remittance joined forces for immediate payments from South Korea to Thailand. That's what I was talking about earlier with Ripple and SBI coming to this new I guess Thailand corridor. Maybe we want to put it like that. and South Korea, so people were bullish about that. What else can I fetch here? No, I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything else. It's definitely all right. Those are all the reasons I can put up or kind of think of. If you're talking about the lawsuit, well, there's a lot of things which happened, which I'll actually cover in a video after this one. I'm right now kind of trying to recoup exactly what happened. So the price of XRP pumped mostly, and all other altcoins were doing well, but not that well. And I actually have been having a couple of discussions over on Twitter about whether or not XRP followed Bitcoin or not. I mean, usually, if Bitcoin goes up about 5%, I always have a margin of about 2 to sometimes 6% depending on the movement, but mostly about a margin of 2%, which basically means if Bitcoin goes up 2%, XRP can be within the margin of plus 0 basically, or plus 4%. That's again if Bitcoin goes up 2%, because that's within margin of the coin not having any extra incentive and just following Bitcoin along. Now let's set one baseline. Bitcoin is basically the main determinant for every other crypto out there. And so if, in easiest words, right, XRP is going up, it'll most likely be caused in some way, shape, or form by Bitcoin. Because had Bitcoin gone down, XRP would have most likely also not gone up, but it would have also likely also followed Bitcoin. That is not always, though, right? And there are instances where that doesn't happen. And right now, for example, Bitcoin went up, let's say, about 5%, but XRP went up about 30%. And that's again where you kind of have to think about it for a little second. If that is the case, can we then really honestly say, with any good faith, that that is what caused the price to pump then Bitcoin if it's up 5% whilst XRP is up so much more? I mean, that doesn't really make any logical sense to me. So I'm going to deny that, specifically also because ADA went up like crazy too, and coins like Matic were also going up like crazy. These coins are all in such a different zone of gains than Bitcoin is, and a couple of hours ago as well, XRP was going up 7% on the hour while Bitcoin wasn't really doing anything that much. Guys, I mean, even though how much I want to believe you, I don't believe you. Let's put it like that, all right? I just can't. I just can't see that. Also, once more, the amount of liquidations that happened for XRP are out of this world. All of a sudden, you can't make this stuff up. So there's most likely something which did happen in the background, but nobody yet is able to find out exactly what. I don't think it's a settlement, though. I don't think it's anything close to that just quite yet, because I think the price would have reacted quite significantly different if it really was. I think it would have been a lot more severe. Then again, it is all up for our own interpretation, right? It is all up for our own interpretation. Let's quickly check some lawsuit stuff out. First of all, Jeremy Hogan posted, the SEC has listed over 300 documents on its privileged log, but all of them are privileged. These privileged documents include numerous documents related to Director Heyman's 2018 speech, which the judge has already indicated that she finds extremely relevant to fair notice defense. And one of the things which I have kind of thought of now to be some bullish factor in here is the fact that the SEC has been hiding so much stuff, right, from Ripple. We know that. We have also known that they are not planning to give it over because they claim that all their information is privileged. Yet, since the judge has basically already told us and the court and just everybody that the documents which the SEC is hiding and calling privileged are extremely relevant to the case, I don't think the judge is going to side with the SEC to say that Ripple cannot see any of that stuff. Because logically, if the SEC ever talked about XRP, it's not too crazy that Ripple would want to know what the SEC said about XRP to determine the status of XRP at any given time. That's one of the most logical requests. So if the SEC is then claiming that no, that stuff is privileged because what we cover internally is not for your eyes, it's only what we bring out to the public. That's not really fair, because ultimately I also believe that it's about the SEC's thought process in mind and what the market participants could have known. And if the SEC knew something, for example, that XRP was doing something wrong, yet they didn't act on that for the next 4 years, that type of stuff might have Ripple in a lawsuit and might show investors like us that you shouldn't always wait for the SEC to make these choices or make these announcements, because ultimately you might end up losing a lot of money that way. You might end up buying yourself into scams because the SEC is telling you about those scams 4 years later. One critical example is when the SEC allowed Ripple to buy into MoneyGram. And actually, there's multiple companies, most likely, which the SEC allowed Ripple to buy into. Had they really known that XRP was security at that point, or had they analyzed it, or had they thought about it, then why did they allow that? And why did they allow MoneyGram to utilize this XRP and get gifted this XRP if they were already suspecting something? That's all odd, right? Specifically, if you think about the fact that it took a lot more than a year to then come to a conclusion and come to a lawsuit, that is just extremely improper. Just really, really odd. That's just one thing I've been thinking about for today. There's a couple of updates as well that we have, but that will take a little bit more time to cover. James Fillon actually went on an entire freaking rant spree today. Just more and more things came out, more and more things came out. You might say that that's what's causing the price to pump. I don't really think so. I think it's interesting, and to me, also quite exciting, but no groundbreaking stuff that's really bullish in any way, shape, or form, right? At all. The most interesting part was this right here. Statement by Rep. Patrick McHenry, the top Republican to the House Financial Services Committee. This is kind of a reply to Gary Gensler. We covered the Gary Gensler reply very early in the morning today because Gary Gensler basically wrote a letter to Elizabeth Warren, which was kind of interesting. But let's quickly check it out. So, Chairman Gensler's latest move to ask Congress for jurisdiction over non-securities exchanges is a blatant power grab that will hurt American innovation, said Republican leader McHenry. Given the distinct nature of digital assets, policymakers must be thoughtful and deliberative in legislating in this space. That's why I introduced H.R. 1602, the Eliminate Barriers to Innovation Act, to bring regulatory certainty to market participants and regulators. We need smart policy, made through a transparent process to ensure innovation and job creation continue in the United States. We don't need another backroom deal between Gensler and Elizabeth Warren. And that's also one thing I've been thinking about here. Has the SEC been kind of cheating us from within? I mean, Elizabeth Warren and Gensler are known to be friends. And so since she put up a question asking all these things about crypto and crypto exchanges, and Gary Gensler replying about a week later with some really positive things for the SEC, really negative things for the crypto realm, trying to kind of power grab everything, what do we think about it then, right? What do we think about that? Well, if you want to kind of get a summary on the Gary Gensler letter from earlier today, first of all, you can watch that stream because it was highly interesting, the first 50 minutes specifically. But also, the conclusion is, he basically replied on the fact that everything needs to be figured out. VPN usage on exchanges needs to be thought about. The fact that a lot of different crypto that are right now on exchanges there's most likely a good chance there's a couple unregistered securities in the midst, and they just need to do some heavy digging and find it all and basically get it under their control. They need to focus on trading and DeFi and whatnot. Gary Gensler is really not a good contribution for the crypto space as it currently stands. It's not really that bullish or not that nice. It is, however, making a couple of steps. So even though his steps are kind of negative, as I would call it right now, I'm going to tell you guys as well that it's not necessarily bad for the crypto realm. Eventually. It's right now not that good, but eventually I think it will turn out to be a great thing. Hopefully. Because, I don't know, I just have some faith in Gary Gensler that he will fix his stuff. Right now, guys, I'm going to continue on with my mosquito hunt. It is my part 3 of the trilogy. Maybe quintilogy eventually if we get more of these episodes coming up. Because I just see them flying here and there as well. And I'm going to tomorrow go out to the store, get myself a buzzer that you guys recommended. Because this is just not that nice. You would think I live in a jungle with the amount of mosquitoes that are in here. Sometimes it's freaking 10 a day. What is this? So yeah, I'm going to fix that little problem. Italian style. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today where we talk more about the in-depth stuff about the lawsuit.